Hi everyone, it's Rich McLean. You might not have heard from me for a long time. And Crystal the Husky, there she is. Isn't she beautiful? She's my world. I'm sending this video out today to oppose my treatment and ask for everyone's help. I've been victimised by the Australian government and I've been gang stalked by very many government agencies and powerful key political underpinnings of the Australian society. Look, I'm a doctor of philosophy and was an allied health professional, and I suffer from something called schizophrenia and adjustment disorder, but someone would disagree with those diagnoses. Look, I've got a terrible story to tell. I've been consciously and maliciously and intentionally reducted all my prosperity in an effort to destroy me. The attacks have been systemic, they've been political, and they've been prolonged over time. This is underpinned by some things. One is I made a complaint against a doctor, and his lawyer was a very powerful lawyer, Russell Ball, and he informs government policy and advises the Ombudsman. And he silenced my evidence at the Health Complaints Commissioner, the Mental Health Complaints Commissioner, the police, IBAC, NHPAPC, APRA, and the Commonwealth Ombudsman and the Victorian Inspectorate. And he informs government policy at the Ombudsman. So I've never been able to get a lawyer, and I've never had equality before the law, and I've never had access to the law. And this has been very difficult for me because I've got no justice. There's another thing that's happening too, which is underpinning all of this. My former partner, Steve Isonides, he's a powerful person and of political influence, and he used to work for the Australian Secret Service, ASIO. He exploited me over 5 years, and he owes me a settlement for our time together. And when I tried to get this, I was vilified for mental illness. I wasn't paid my work cover. I wasn't paid my HF income assist, and I was squatting, so they kicked in the door and took me to hospital, and that's where I had the suicide attempt. And look, it's a very difficult place for me to be because I'm literally got no money. I've been homeless. They've destroyed my business, my website, all its backup data. They've cancelled my ABN, they've cancelled my license, and I just don't know what to do. I'm asking my friends and family for help because it's not okay that a person to be victimised and gang stalked like this. This is actually a phenomenon that I've proven on my website and that I've proven full stop. You can't argue with that kind of evidence. Like, I'm banned at the Australian Financial Complaints Authority. I can't put in a complaint to the Australian Human Rights Commission. But the Office of Prime Minister and Cabinet refuses my freedom of information. It's been 2.5 years and I haven't been paid my work cover for when I got injured at work, partly because of this conspiracy and partly because I was triggered by my own client's sexual abuse, rape and incest stories when I was actually dealing with my own VOCAT child sexual abuse thing. And my case was thrown out by a Geelong magistrate, and she said, quote unquote, I was doomed to fail. Now, I've had a difficult journey. Look, I need my work cover paid. There's no question about it. Like, I've got no access to the law, no equality before the law. I'm a failed whistleblower at the health department, at the federal court, at the NDIS, and other departments in the Attorney General's office. Now, part of this problem is that they're saying I'm not part of the work cover problem is they're not saying I'm not an employee for the purposes of the SRC Act. But the federal court, in their ruling that I was not eligible for a PID, a public interest disclosure, also inadvertently acknowledged that I'm an employee of the DSS. So if mine now, massive payout from work cover is rejected of the AAT after being rejected by Comcare, I get to appeal at the federal court. But the federal court have already said that I'm an employee of the DSS. So the answer to the question, am I an employee for the purposes of the SRC Act, for which they rejected me on, is absolutely true. So the money's coming, and I'm asking for money. I am asking for money, or I'm asking you, please, if you can share this video, or even just call me and say hello or email me on richarddrawstuff@gmail.com. The money is coming, but they're going to try and kill me in the meantime. Now, when you're the subject of a victim, subject of a conspiracy to pervert the course of justice, which I am, life is very difficult. you don't know what's real and you don't know what's not. And gang stalking is a thing whereby it gets political and systemic and profoundly across the system and exploits you and demonises you and gets all your weaknesses and amplifies them and tries to vilify you and tries to shame you. They do everything they can to try and keep you down. And I've actually been violently attacked twice. I was violently attacked with a dancing dog and beaten up and hospitalised. And I was beaten up inside a hospital another time when they kept reincarcerating me, vilifying me for mental illness, when in actual fact it's society that's sick. Now, I just want to wrap it up by saying my HCF income assist didn't pay either. My work cover hasn't paid either. My former partner hasn't paid either. My business has been destroyed. I have no rights, no equality before the law, access to it. I'm really struggling. I was rendered homeless because I couldn't pay my rent because of all these detriments, and I was still crook from work. And when I attempted suicide inside a Werribee Mercy Hospital, of which now there's a cover-up, and that's not okay, that happened to me and there be a cover-up and the hospital not be liable for it, that I suffer a cognitive brain impairment, which affects my memory and it's affected my lip and my decision-making capability. So I couldn't go back to work. Look, it's Rich McLean. I'm still here. I'm still queer. I'd drink a beer if I could, but I don't have a beer. Look, I'm a persecuted individual. I'm literally the victim of a conspiracy to pervert the course of justice. It goes all the way to the Office of Prime Minister and Cabinet, where they refuse my freedom of information. And it's systemic throughout the system. These key, powerful political people are underpinning my destruction, and they will destroy me, and they have destroyed me, and then they've covered it up, and the world's allowed it to happen. Please don't let it happen anymore. I'm a human being, you know. I've got a beautiful dog. I want to give back to the community. I want to work in the NDIS as an arts therapist again. I want to give back, and I worked in this country for 30 years advocating for people with mental health issues and for their carers. And I've spoken from Parliament House in Canberra to Montreal to Dubbo to Warrnambool and hundreds of times across TV and radio, ABC National, Triple J, ABC News, Stateline, Dateline, the drug debate on SBS. I've been a proud advocate to serve Australia, and Australia has returned the favour by treating me really bad. And it became an issue when powerful people began to owe me money and I was easily vilified. Now, in addition to that, I'm a doctor of philosophy with some pretty controversial topics and theories going forward, especially regarding AI and interdimensional beings, that kind of stuff. And they're just trying to silence that kind of thing. But the system doesn't like people who are free thinkers, who don't play like the rest, and who are independent thinkers and do things their own way, because we have an authenticity about us that we can't be corrupted. And this is why the system is partly trying to destroy me, is because they want to silence me. But by silencing me, they're acting by proxy attack of other people in which to redact my prosperity and make it so difficult for me that I end up topping myself. Now, I'm not suicidal, but when I was I think it was August, September last year, the police kept threatening me with the Mental Health Act, threatening to incarcerate me, where I was hospitalised once before and had suffered the suicide attempt. I didn't want to go back to that place because I knew I was being vilified. And the police literally ran me out of town. I got in my car and I went to hide in hotels. And while I was in the hotel one day, I got my dog and went for a walk, and a car literally ran me down and mowed me down in the street. And my leg was maimed, the dog was hurt, and another time too, I'd just gone down to the shops for a minute, and I swear someone broke into my house and harmed Crystal. She couldn't walk and I had to take her to the vet. This movement of oppression is so poisonous that they would harm her. And I've had threats that my dog is going to be killed on social media. And it's not okay that I can't report to police about this. I'm under family violence, and family violence is never okay. Every day that I live in poverty is another day that family violence wins. And it's not okay that this happened to me. And the fact that family violence is happening to me is compounded by the fact that the federal government are elongating and emboldening that abuse by not giving me any prosperity and not allowing me to have equality before the law or access to it. And just by example, the Office of Prime Minister and Cabinet refuse my freedom of information, as do the police. Look, it's Rich McLean. I'm going to give you my PayID now because I want to pay people back. I want to make it right. I want to be in society. I'm not crazy. What's crazy is society. But I'm going to give you my PayID now, and if you would like to invest in this justice, then I will pay you back and then some when my detriments are finally paid. I just can't do anything now. I'm totally powerless. I've got no voice, I've got no equality before the law, no access for it. I've been vilified for so many things. I've been literally destroyed. My business destroyed, my car gone, and when I was in hospital last October, they kept me locked up nearly for 3 months in an insane asylum, and I wasn't insane. And they went to my house, and the hospital and Werribee Mercy, under the direction of Hung Home, my former landlord, went to my house, got all of my stuff, my possessions, my documents, my photos of my nana, my clothes, my drawings, my precious drawings, my prints, my antiques, and they took the whole lot to the tip. And then they rejected me into a homeless shelter with only the clothes on my back. How very dare they? And I don't understand how the world could have allowed that to happen to me. But look, the good news is I've found myself to a new place. I'm trying to create my business again from scratch, my art business and my advocacy business. And I'm trying to use what I've learned in my PhD and all my experience, my worldly experience, to try and help people in the community again. But I just need some help from my community again to try and help me get through this impasse that's happening to me. My PayID is 0400639248. I'll say it again. My PayID is 0400639248. I need everything. I need a business website. I need a car. I've literally got nothing. All my clothes are secondhand and from charity shops. I don't even have a pair of shoes. I just need to start my life again, and I need some help. It's been an incredible journey for me. Look, I'm very grateful to be alive. I'm grateful my life was saved, but I'm not grateful for the cover-up. And it's a difficulty now with the cognitive brain impairment and the dropped lip and stuff, and the fact that I can't feel my feet and walk very far, that is really extra debilitating, as well as being diagnosed with mental illness anyway. Look at her little hand go, isn't it cute? She's such a beautiful girl. Oh, Crystal, can you say, I love you? I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. We love you. I love you. I love the world. I just want to be in a good place in the world, and I want to be able to give back to the community, and I need everyone's help. What I need is someone to ledger that this thing's happening for me. I've got a website and I've tried to prove it, and I have proven it. This is a conspiracy to pervert the course of justice, and it's victimising me, and it's unholy amount of abuse, and it's called gang stalking, and there's a whole lot of people that mean me harm, and they have caused me harm, and then they've covered up the harm, and now they're still causing me harm. But I've got a voice, and I'm allowed to express myself, and I'm allowed to ask for help, and there's no shame in asking for help when you've been the subject of torture like I have. Can you please help me? It's Dr. Rich McLean. I've got another name, Barran Dodger, Dr. Barran Dodger, and this is my dog Crystal, and we're just hanging out here, and we really hope that someone can help us and invest in my justice. It's not even I'm asking for money. I'm going to pay you back when my detriments are paid. I just can't do anything now. Can you please help us? Oh, she's having a stretch. Look at that. Isn't she beautiful? It's Rich McLean. Look, the old Rich McLean's still here. You might have heard a lot of stories about me, but I'm still here, and I just need some help. I'm asking my family and friends for some help. Can you please pay ID 0400639248? I can't pay rent. I don't have enough food, and I don't have any equality before law access to it. So if you could please share this video to try and oppose my injustice and my profound victimisation, in which I'm the conspiracy to pervert the cause of justice. They're going to try and kill me or vilify me or lock me up. Please help me in the meantime so that I can get my justice and I can prove my case, and we can all make the world a better place. Okay, thanks for listening. It's Rich McLean. Bye.